Hey, this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling with Platinum versus AEW Dynamite. This is from March 10th, 2021. I once declared one of the Dynamites was the best go-home show that we had seen this year. Well, guess what? They now also have the best post pay-per-view match of the year. This show was fucking fantastic. It attempted to rectify some of the things that went very wrong with the Revolution pay-per-view. It took us in completely different directions. They had a heel turn that mattered. For the heel turn that didn't really take, they sort of took a mulligan on it, at least for now, which I thought was the smart move. There were audio issues. I'll just get that out of the way. But really, when you look at this show, it really was a stunning example of what you can do when you just put people in the right positions. And it shows how good Eddie fucking Kingston really is. If there is any doubt, the fact that they had him and Moxley just sitting down on a couch addressing the issues of the explosion. It is as smart a move as you could possibly make on that thing. Just a stellar fucking job. And of course, the thing at the end, where the inner circle basically went babyface completely, and MJF incorporated into his version of the inner circle, whatever they're going to name it. FTR, Sean Spears, Wardlow with Tully. Really fantastic. And it's one of those things where the turns felt right. Like Scorpio Sky had not been a really good babyface for a while, so his heel turn felt natural. People have been really wanting the inner circle to turn. They're just really hard to boo. And now they have the full-throated excuse to completely root for them, with the return of Sammy Guevara especially. Just really great stuff. Let's just get into it. So they open with Rey Fenix against Matt Jackson. Was this the best opening match that we've seen on a show this year? Probably. Rey Fenix off to the fucking races, and my God. I mean, the finish too, where he puts him over the shoulder, knees him to the head, and then just drops him down in the whatever they're calling it, but the greetings from Ashbury Park. Just awesome fucking open. Had a great thing about Darby and then they told us what we're gonna see. We're gonna see Darby Allin against Scorpio Sky. We're gonna see the 6-woman tag. Sting's gonna speak. Ethan Page and Lee Johnson. Christian Cage is going to speak. The Inner Circle is going to have their War Council, and Cody's going to be in action. Then they had the great promo with Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Again, this show just flows, right? And then they don't even go to a commercial break then. During the commercial break, they do a split screen and they do a Revolution recap where they do this great like time-lapse photography thing, which they also used and incorporated throughout the show. Just everything feels like it's working in lockstep. It does not feel like WWE Light, which often TNA and Impact could have been accused of. AEW is really defining its own way to do things, and it's a lot of fun. And because it's new, it has the advantage of being able to surprise us. Match number 2, it was Cody Rhodes against Seth Gargis. And obviously they're trying to erase the sins of Cody wrestling Peter Avalon in this knockdown drag-out fucking match. I mean, he beats this big dude quick and fast with the figure 4. A moment that I really loved, though, was Cody Rhodes hopping the rail to give his weightlifting belt to somebody in a wheelchair. There was something about it that was just really lovely. Again, they give you these kind of moments, and they can do it because they have fans there. Just really great. Tony talks to Cody. The spot where Penta has the translator and they're going at it, and he drops the line about not being able to hold his daughter, and then Cody goes out and they brawl, and it's great. I was just like, boy, we're giving everybody interesting places to go. Orange and Chuck want a rematch. This is the segment that, on the surface, is just the fucking worst because they're in the arcade and they go like, we want to have a rematch, and if you win, I'll be your slave or your butler forever, whatever. And then it's like, we're gonna have video games around the ring and put your head through the video games. Oh, man, I hope they can deliver better than this sounds because it fucking sounds awful. After the commercial break, Sting really goes out of his way to put over Darby, but right when he's going to talk about himself, Lance Archer comes out, and then Jake drops the weird line of "Bye, Stinger," which, again, they have a history, Jake Roberts and Sting. I thought they were going to allude to that more, but they didn't. Awkward, and then Sting, kind of frustrated, leaves, which I find interesting. Moving Sting into a thing with Lance Archer is definitely unexpected. Boy, they're just moving. This show was all about, okay, here's the directions we're going now. And in a couple of cases, it's sort of logical directions. And in a couple, it's like, whoa, just like left field, like really different, really compelling programming. QT with a promo with Lee Johnson. This is when the audio started messing up. They had the overlay from the Dallas Mavericks game, I think. But I guess long story short is, QT, QT just had a bad moment. He's not a bad guy, which I think is right, because him abandoning Dustin, I don't think it got any kind of reaction. I don't think it really mattered to much of anybody. So, like, I think they're good sort of holding off for a little while, if that's what they're doing, and building some tension into this. Then we had Ethan Page against Lee Johnson, a good match, messed up audio. Really took away from the presentation, and Ethan Page won, but let's just move on, honestly. Matt Hardy's there with Private Party, and he's really mad about Adam Page, right? But first, we have this great stupid segment where Adam Page is on this riding lawnmower about all the things he spent with Matt's money, how he donated a lot of it to Jacksonville Public Schools, and he bought this and he bought that, and then the Dark Order comes out and Adam Page lets him on, but they ditch Five to go get ice cream. So sad. Commercial. Come back. It's going to be Christian Cage. Nope, it's Kenny Omega with full entourage and full entrance. Callis and the Good Brothers are there, and they make fun in really brutal fashion, Eddie Kingston in particular. So Eddie Kingston comes out, and it's great. Callis is talking down to Eddie Kingston as well and dares him to take a swing, and he does. Boom, he hits Callis, pays for it as the rest of them jump him. Then a big brawl erupts all over the place. And then we're left with Christian finally coming to the ring and kind of confronting Omega face to face. Nice little tease there. We have our 6-woman tag match, Britt Baker, Nyla Rose against Shida Ro and Thunder Rosa. Some people are going to hate this or they're going to love it. I lean towards love it because I'm a big Maka Ito fan. So her refusing to finish her song early just because the faces came out and started fighting, to me was hysterical. I totally would allow that people would not like that, but I thought it was really funny and very much in character and on brand for Maka Ito. The ridiculousness of stuff going on with Sheeta's sword fighting with Reba's crutch with the kendo stick. One thing about this match, though, and it's been a sort of a secret of what's been wrong with AEW's women's division, and this match highlighted something very positive that made me realize that this was missing all along, which is this match had, at times, frantic and out of control, but it had an undeniable energy. And that's what's been missing in the AEW women's division. A real, kinetic energy, but it was here. And at the end of the day, Thunder Rosa wins with her air raid crash driver. Puts down Maka Ito. But then, unexpectedly, Britt beats the living shit out of Thunder Rosa, locks her in the lockjaw while, they put the crutch on, drag it across her head. It looked very brutal what they were doing. And so the Britt Baker Thunder Rosa thing, instead of being over, it is ramped way the fuck up, especially when we hear about the announcements of the matches next week and what they're doing. You can just tell this show just crackled with energy and renewal. And that's what you should do after a pay-per-view show. Now Matt Hardy's there with Private Party, and now his new signees, Butcher, Blade, and Bunny. Whoa. They put over the fact that the four of them are going to team up together and destroy some four poor guys on Elevation on Monday. So they even gave a nod to the new version of Dark that's appearing on Monday. Nicely done. Match number 5, Scorpio Sky and Darby Allin. What can you say? A fucking great ass match. I thought it was going to go time limit, but no, Darby Allin hurt. Great sell on that leg. I bought it for quite a time, I have to say. That tope dive to the outside works. And normally I don't put out moves, right? You know I give a fuck about the moves, but Darby Allin diving out and getting caught in the cutter was amazing. The coffin drop that Scorpio Sky turned into a power bomb on Darby Allin was amazing. And I even liked the TKO finish, which I hate for Scorpio Sky getting cradled. So that's what you get, Scorpio Sky. You got to have a different fucking finisher. Darby Allin wins, but then Scorpio viciously goes after Darby's legs, does this uncomfortable, constant licking of the lips thing, which wow. Okay. So next week... John Moxley and Eddie Kingston against the Good Brothers, Cody against Penta, Jurassic Express and Bear Country against Private Party and Butcher and Blade. Jade is going to wrestle solo for the first time. And then the main event is Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa in a lights out match in the main event. See what I'm saying? They're fucking coming for heads, man. The Inner Circle War Council, great bit of business, a bunch of moving parts and complexity that they managed to pull off very well. Swerve on a swerve, right? Sammy Guevara puts his, we see him setting up his camera phone so we can see what's going on. And what we see is MJF conspiring with Santana and Ortiz and Jake Hager to screw over Jericho at the War Council and put MJF at the lead. But Sammy, so MJF goes, well, attack, and all of them turn on MJF. He cowers in the corner where Jericho shoves him, and they're going to beat him down, but he begs, lights go out, they come up. FTR, Sean Spears, Wardlow, and Tully Blanchard are there, and they beat the holy fuck out of them. I mean, throwing Sammy's head through that chair, brutal. Jericho really gets it. Jericho gets color, gets decked by the bat by MJF, dumped out, and then Wardlow picks him up. And Wardlow's so fucking strong, it was like he was almost too efficient picking him up in that power bomb. That's how scary it was because he's so fucking strong. But he directs Jericho very nicely to a bump off of the stage through tables. Holy shit. A lot happened, a lot going on, and now whatever negative feelings were after Revolution are gone, and whatever positive feelings of Revolution were definitely capitalized on. AEW is crackling with energy, folks. That didn't feel like a desperate show. It felt like an amazing show. And the thing is, I was actually looking forward to, because NXT has some great matches. But I'm going to have to see after I watch that show if they managed to pull off half the energy that this show did. Great job, AEW. Holy balls.